We are starting off with the latest coming in from Ethiopia's Tigray region, which continues to be on the boil. The interim government of Ethiopia's war-hit Tigray region has declared a unilateral ceasefire as the rebels advanced on the local capital of Mekelle. The move has signaled a turning point in the nearly 8-month-long conflict between the federal government and the Tigray fighters. The former rulers of the conflicted Tigray region said on Monday that they were back in control of the regional capital as the Tigrayan fighters took the city's airport and other key positions. The latest developments bring a setback to the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's efforts to bring the region under federal control. The rebels, who have branded themselves as Tigray Defense Forces or TDF, launched a major offensive last week coinciding with Ethiopia's highly anticipated general election. The developments prompted the federal government to declare an immediate ceasefire in the war-torn region. According to the Ethiopian state media, the ceasefire is likely to last until the end of the current farming season and is intended to facilitate agricultural production and aid distribution in the region. The head of Tigray's provincial administration, Abraham Bele, meanwhile, has urged the federal government to bring a ceasefire so that it can help prevent further damage in Tigray.
ህዝቡ ፋታ አግኝቶ የመፍትሄው አካል የሚሆንበትን እድል ለማመቻቸት እንዲቻል የፌደራል መንግስቱ ሰብአዊነትን መሰረት ያደረገ ተጨማሪ ጉዳት በማያስከትል መልኩ የተኩስ አቁም ስምምነት እንዲደረግ በትግራይና በመላው ሰላም ወዳድ ህዝብ ስም እንጠይቃለን።
Meanwhile, the United States, Ireland and the UK have called for an emergency UN Security Council public meeting to discuss the growing crisis in Ethiopia's Tigray region. Diplomatic sources have said the meeting could be held on Friday. The war in Tigray began last November when the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed sent troops to oust the dissident regional leadership, promising swift victory over the region. But intense fighting persisted since then, triggering a humanitarian crisis, which the United Nations warns has left over 350,000 people on the brink of famine. Let's go straight across now to Koleta Banjohi, joining us live from Addis Ababa. Koleta, help us better understand to what extent this unilateral ceasefire called by the federal government is expected to help in the aid distribution in the region, and how long is it expected to hold?
Well, according to the government, the unilateral ceasefire will hold until the planting season is over, because it gives the reason that people have to return to normalcy. A lot of internally displaced people in different parts of the region, and it says it will give people some time to go back to their normal lives. However, we know that this ceasefire was declared as the Tigray Defense Forces also declared that they had taken over the capital of the region, which is called Mekelle, and they are vowing not to move until they take control of other areas in the region that have been taken up by the government. Well, now it brings a kind of confusion as to what will be the criteria of humanitarian agencies operating in the region. Who will be in control? Will it be the Tigray Defense Forces that are struggling to gain control, or will it be the federal government of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed? So I think it kind of throws a lot of confusion into the status quo, and as well as and before all this is ironed out, we might probably see a deterioration in the issue of humanitarian crisis in terms of where the agencies cannot reach because of this kind of confusion.
Right, and since this is a unilateral ceasefire, this could mean that over the next few days we could see tensions spiraling?
Well, it's a unilateral ceasefire, right? Because it's not an agreement between the two warring factions, the main warring factions here. Both of them have demands. Both of them have they have some kind of pride as to how much they can give in. So that becomes a kind of really challenging. But also, let's remember there are also the issues of the international or the external forces being in the region, the Eritrean forces. So all this kind of complicates. Now, whoever takes control over the next few days or controls the narrative alternative will be the one who will be able to probably control what the ceasefire will look like. But as of now, it's only the government talking about ceasefire. The defense forces of the Tigrays are not talking about it.
We're leaving it there for the moment, Coletta. Thanks very much for getting us the latest. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.